Have you ever felt someone pulling a third person into your relationship, comparing you, passing along what someone said, or making you compete for their approval? That's not an accident. That's triangulation. Triangulation is when someone uses a third person or even just the idea of another person to control, manipulate, or destabilize you. It's one of the most painful tactics because it doesn't just hurt you, it destroys your trust, your relationships, and makes you doubt your own reality and identity. Hi, my name is Callie Sorensen, and I support people to recognize, step out of, and recover from toxic relationships and groups so they can build genuinely fulfilling relationships and lives. Today, we'll cover what triangulation looks like, including the subtle forms, why manipulators use it, and why it cuts so deep, and how to spot it and step out of the triangle. So, what exactly is triangulation? Triangulation is a manipulation tactic where someone brings in another person or even just the idea of another person to create distance, tension, or competition between you and them. Picture it like this. Instead of facing you directly, they put themselves in the middle and pull the strings like a puppeteer. On one side is you, on the other side is the third person, and both of you are left dancing to their narrative. They control what's said, what's compared, and what's left out. And that's how they stay in power. And here's the thing, triangulation isn't just a dating issue. You'll see it everywhere, in families, in friend groups, at work, even in spiritual communities. It doesn't always look obvious either. Sometimes it sneaks in through favoritism, comparisons, jealousy, rumors, or indirect communication. The manipulator uses these dynamics to stir up tension and keep people divided and doubting themselves. So let me give you some real life examples of how it can show up so you can start spotting it. Comparisons and jealousy. A parent says, "Why can't you be more like your sister? She always makes me proud." A partner drops an ex into the conversation. "My ex never had a problem with this." Or they flirt openly with someone else in front of you. This isn't about the other person. It's about cutting you down, sparking insecurity, and keeping you competing for their approval. Indirect communication and messenger games. Instead of speaking to you directly, the manipulator uses someone else as the go-between. They might say something like, "I'm just telling you what she said. She said that you're selfish." Or they'll drop vague hints like, "Well, so-and-so mentioned." The problem? The information is filtered, incomplete, or distorted. You're left questioning what's true while the manipulator avoids accountability. This keeps you off balance, creates tension between you and others, and cements the manipulator in the middle in total control of the narrative. Rumors and gossip. Instead of coming to you directly with their concerns, they spread half-truths or exaggerations behind your back. In workplaces, this can look like a boss complaining about you to coworkers instead of giving feedback directly to you. It poisons your reputation and makes others doubt you, while you're left confused about where the hostility is even coming from. Praise and withhold to pit people against each other. A manager showers one employee with praise while ignoring or nitpicking another, creating competition instead of collaboration. In families, one child might be elevated as the golden child, while another is cast as a scapegoat. You can watch my video more on these narcissistic family dynamics. This keeps people fighting for scraps of approval rather than uniting against the unfair treatment. And here's the key. It's essential to look at the pattern of behavior over time, not just a one-off incident. If disagreements routinely include a third person, mentioned, invited, or even imagined, you're most likely caught in triangulation. The manipulator creates a triangle, you versus them versus the third person, and they sit in the middle, pulling the strings and controlling the narrative. So why do people triangulate? Well, because it works. Triangulation keeps you competing for approval, craving validation, and doubting yourself. Instead of questioning the manipulator, you're focused on the third person, and that's exactly how they want it. What does a manipulator gain by triangulation? They gain power and narrative control. By sitting in the middle, they decide who hears what. They pull the strings to keep everyone off balance. Divide and conquer ensures that they remain at the center of attention and power. They gain superiority. They inflate their own self-esteem by cutting you down and devaluing you, keeping you insecure, emotionally distressed, and easier to manipulate. Avoiding accountability. Instead of direct, honest communication, they send messages through others. "Oh, that's what they said, not me." This way, they don't have to own their words or behavior. Emotional supply. Your jealousy, your anxiety, your reactions, and your desperate bids for reassurance or attention, feed them. It gives them that narcissistic supply. Distraction. If you're competing with someone else, you're not looking closely at their behavior. And why does this cut so deep? Triangulation attacks your most basic human needs, your need to belong, to feel secure, to feel special, chosen, and loved for who you are. It sparks insecurity, jealousy, and fear of rejection, pushing you to compete for scraps and breadcrumbs of approval. It breeds confusion and instability because everything is filtered through them. You can't know what's true and not. It chips away at your self-esteem, leaving you in long-term cycles of emotional distress and self-doubt. It makes you second guess your own perception. You wonder, was that comparison real? Did that person really say that? Over time, you begin doubting your own mind, perception, and reality. It erodes trust, both in others and in yourself. When lies are planted about what friends or family think, even safe relationships start to feel shaky. And it isolates you. Constant comparisons and so said tactics leave you feeling unseen and unsupported. If you can't trust others or even your own reality, you may begin to pull back from everyone. That self-isolation makes you even more vulnerable to further manipulation and abuse. And that's the heart of it. Triangulation isn't just a petty mind game. It strikes at the foundation and core of who you are. It cuts into your self-worth, your self-trust, and your ability to feel safe in relationships. So how can you protect yourself from triangulation? Number one, trust your feelings. If something feels off, it usually is off. Pause, breathe, check in with yourself and your feelings, and trust that there is wisdom there. Number two, name it. The moment you notice comparisons, jealousy games, or he said, she said, or bringing somebody else into the picture, call it out. Recognize it for what it is, manipulation and triangulation. Take a step back, see the pattern of behavior, check the facts. Number three, step out of the triangle. Your power is to turn the triangle back into a line. Refuse to engage via a third party. Bring it back to the direct relationship. And if they compare, I won't compete or be compared. If you have feedback for me, you can say it directly. If they dangle an X or a third party, if there's an issue with us, let's address that directly without involving anyone else. Number four, set clear boundaries with consequences. Boundaries are actions. I don't want to involve anyone else in this discussion. Let's keep this between us. No comparisons. If you continue to involve them, I'll end this conversation. And then make sure you follow through. If they continue to compare, leave the room, end the call, or pause the discussion. Without action, boundaries become invitations for them to keep pushing you. Number five, strengthen your support system. Stay connected to trustworthy friends, family, and therapists or professionals who are versed in coercive control. Share what's happening so you're not isolated. And number six, if it continues, plan a safe exit. Know that you deserve to be treated with love and respect. Gray rock, limit access, leave the relationship, go no contact, create a safety or exit plan for high-risk dynamics. Remember, the manipulator thrives when you fight the third person. You can take your power back by refusing to enter the triangle at all. Triangulation can feel like one of the most painful forms of manipulation because it doesn't just hurt you, it sabotages your connections with others and, most importantly, with yourself. But once you can see it, name it, and refuse to play the game, you cut off the manipulator's control. You deserve relationships where people speak to you, not about you, where you're valued for who you are and you're not pitted against others. And make sure you grab my free red flag decoder guide in the link below. It'll show you how to spot tactics like triangulation faster. And if this resonates with you, you're not crazy, you're not alone. You deserve real love, real respect, and genuine relationships that don't make you compete for scraps of connection. And make sure to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Have you ever felt like you were triangulated? I'd love to hear your experience. And if you have any questions, leave those below.